Hi everybody, I am Brian Evans with Integrity Realty and Management, and today I just want to do a quick video on how I go about pricing rental properties. And the reason I do this is because I've been managing rental properties for over 10 years now, and I've just seen this conflict between homeowners and property managers on this issue of price. And I'm not really I'm too busy to really argue with people on rent prices. What I'd rather do is just show people how I go about it. And if you disagree with how I analyze the market, I'm all ears. I would love to hear a different way of doing it. But after years of doing this, I think I've gotten really good at dialing in rent numbers so that they rent quickly and you get the best tenant possible. So let me kind of jump into what I mean on that, because you'll hear a lot of people say, and I've heard this over and over, that I don't, some people say, like, I don't want to drop my price too low because, I don't want to get the wrong tenant in there. And I've heard even real estate gurus that teach real estate seminars say that, and it's really kind of frustrating to hear that, because nothing's further from the truth. Let me give you an example. If you price your property at $1 per month to rent, isn't everybody going to be sending you a rental application? Not just the the bad tenants, because all they can afford is $1. No, everybody's going to be sending you a rental application. The people that are making $200,000 a year, that have 800 credit scores, that are perfect tenants, are also going to be sending you a rental application, because those people as well want to get the best price for the least amount of money. It's just the way it is. So, but with that said, I want to jump into the things that we're going to cover in this video. So, first off, we're going to cover how to price your property so that you get so the property rents fast and for the most money, and that you get the right tenants in your property. I'm also going to cover the difference between tenant rent searches and landlord rent searches, and kind of the mindset difference between the two. And then I'm also going to cover why pricing rents too high is more of a problem than just lost rents alone. And I'm going to discuss that, and I kind of touched on that a minute ago. And the overall theme of this video that I really want to kind of ingrain into anybody that watches is that the goal is not to go get the best price possible. The goal is to get the best tenant possible. And so I'm going to talk a lot about that as we go into this video. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So I have a property here that I want to go ahead and comp out. This is one of my clients that contacted me with this property on Holly Street. And comping a property is very easy. And believe it or not, I use Zillow as one of my starting points, and I recommend it to everybody that I talk to. We also have an internal tool that gives us actual rents being charged versus just the asking price. Zillow is strictly asking price rents. So I want to point that out, because I've ran across that many times with property owners where they're trying to rent out their property, and they're saying, hey, look, Joe across the street right here is getting $2,900 a month for his property. And I'm like, no, Joe across the street is asking $2,900 rent for his property. He may have to drop it down to $2,500 to get what he wants. And so these are asking prices. But Zillow is an excellent tool to really dial in what your rental price should be in relation to your competition that's out there. All these people renting their properties right now are your competitors, and you got to think of them that way. So let me go ahead and jump into this with this property here. So comping a property is really easy, actually. If you're overthinking it and you're doing more than what I just talked about, you're probably trying to force a rental price for your property that actually is not going to work or is too high. Because really all you need to do is plug in your number of bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and I like to use total finished square foot. This is not total finished square foot. The total finished square foot is 2270. So in Zillow, you go, actually I've already kind of jumped into this because my internet's running really slow today and I wanted to get through this video. And so I went ahead and jumped into this. I already did the property search. I already plugged in the number of bedrooms right here, so I've selected 3. You want to go ahead and select, if you have a single family house, you want to select houses and then compare that to also have townhomes in that comparison. If you have an apartment, you want to just make sure you select apartments and then condos as the 2 that you're looking at. And then under more, you want to select the number of baths. And then you want to put your total finished square footage here, plus or minus 20%. If you have a small condo, you may be plus or minus 10%. And if you have a really large house, like a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot house, you may be plus or minus, closer to 30%, to kind of get that range of houses that you want to look at. So, but after you do that, you want to hit apply, which I already did here. The next thing you want to do is you want to zero in on the property area that you're focused on. Right now you've got a list that's too much to manage. And so you want to draw a circle around your property that is, roughly 2 miles around it. So, this is kind of a terrible circle, but it'll work. And so what I want to do is I want to eliminate all these properties around me, and I want to narrow this list down to just the properties that are around the property I'm trying to comp. And so that way I have a list that I can work with here. And so here is the list, and the first thing I want to point out is up top, Zillow is mostly in this section is catering to whom? They're not catering to landlords, they're catering to tenants, right? This is 95% of their viewers are tenants getting on here looking for rental prices. So look at the 3 buttons they have up here. They have verified source, so tenants want to know if they are actually talking to a property manager or the actual owner or controller of the property. They want to make sure they're not getting scammed. They also want to search by the newest listings, because somebody that's in an area that's looking for a rental property maybe has already gone through what is there and they haven't found what they're looking for, and so they're all constantly searching for the newest property. That's why when you first come out, you want to make sure you're priced right, because you want to hit these people that are looking for the property or been looking for a property for a couple months. You want those people, because typically those people are the ones that plan ahead. People that plan ahead pay. They pay their bills. They pay ahead. They take care of what they're supposed to do. So you want the planners, and these people are searching this newest button. They're planners. They're responsible people. The next button here is, which I believe is probably selected the most, is this rent button that goes from lowest to highest. Notice that it's not from high to low. If you go under more, you can find that button. And I believe the only reason Zillow puts that button there is for landlords who want to search it the other way, because tenants are certainly not searching it that way. Tenants are always searching from the lowest property to highest property. They look at their criteria and they want to see the lowest price first. And then they start scrolling through, and from the top of the list on down till they find 2, 3, 4 properties that they like, and then they set a showing. You want to be on this top of this list. You don't want to be down here. Look at these guys. This guy's $4,000 a month rent. This guy's $4,000 a month rent, and this guy's $4,000 a month rent. Right around all these 25s. There is a 35, but I mean, that's going to be tough. It's a 3-bedroom. It's a 2-bath. It's 2,500 square foot. It's a little bigger than mine. But okay, now this is a good time to jump into, without even, let me see if I can click on this property and take a look to see how that even compares to mine. So let's take a peek. Here is my property that I'm comping out. And here is theirs, and mine is better. Mine is a better property. So I don't understand why they're so high in their price. Well, I understand why. I know what's going on there. Let's go back up to the top list. So we want to make sure we're comparing from the top on down like a tenant would do. So I want to take a look at a couple of these and see how mine compares. They're asking $2,300 a month in rent here. And look at this property. It's updated. It has granite, stainless. That's a black microwave. Looks like a stainless steel oven. Updated bathroom. It's a fairly updated property for $2,300 a month. Let me see this one. I'm going to go ahead and click on this 25. This one looks really nice. I think this would be a good comparable to what I have. I mean, look at that kitchen. That is nice. That is a nice property. Their bathroom, they got the glass showers. This is a very, very nice property. So we're kind of in that 23 already. We can tell we're in that 23 to 25 range. There's another 25. Just take a look at that one. So we see our neighbors, what they're listing for. We want to beat them. We don't want to have them beat us and get all the best tenants. We want to beat them. So we want to be priced right. Now this property is okay, right? I think mine's a little nicer. So does that mean that I'm going to ask for a ton more in rent? No. That just means that mine's a little nicer. So if I'm going to be able to get on this short list here of these tenants that are looking in this field, I want to be priced in this range, right? So I would say that I'd probably want to be priced somewhere in this, range of 24 to 25. This 23, let's talk about this for a second. So this 23, I bet it hasn't been on the market hardly at all because it's not going to last very long. It's a nice property. It's priced very aggressively. It shows right here it's been listed for 20 days. Let me take a look. Am I going to have to eat my words? Oh, no. So what's going on here is that they're not even, this property isn't going to be available until January 1st. So it's not going to be available for over 2 months. So what I already know what these people are doing. It's very smart. They are sending out a really low price on a good property. They're just a couple $100 or $100 lower than what their rent should be. His estimate says 23. I think that's pretty low. I think that maybe recalculated to 23 once they put that in. I don't know why. But I would say that they are getting a ton of applications. They probably got 2 or 3 applications already. And so what they're doing is they're pricing aggressively. They're getting a lot of applications in, and they're selecting the best tenant. That is so smart. So let's talk about these people in comparison to this guy up here, this $4,000 a month. And we already looked at this property. There's nothing special really about it. It's a little bigger. So what kind of tenants are going to be calling on this one? Is it going to be the tenants that have the best credit and the best making the most income? No, they're going to be shopping up here where they can get the best house for the best price. Down here, who's going to be calling on this? The people that don't qualify for any of the houses up here. I know this for a fact because whenever I have an overpriced property, I immediately know I have an overpriced property because the only people that call me are people that are Section 8, the people that have evictions, that don't have good income. They have delinquencies. They have judgments on their credit scores. They have terrible credit scores. These are the only people that are contacting me. I immediately know that I'm overpriced because they are calling me and asking, well, can you qualify me for this house? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, because I don't want to put in a bad tenant into a property. So here's a pitfall that I see with a lot of landlords that end up coming my way eventually. They have to they have a property, they have it overpriced. All they're seeing is bad tenants come in their door. And so all they do is they select from this pool of bad tenants, and they end up putting a bad tenant in their property who, as soon as they put in, stops paying them rent, destroys their property. They have to get evicted, costs the landlord a ton of money. And then these landlords will come to me and they'll be like, hey, I want you to manage my property because I don't want to put in another bad tenant. Oh, by the way, I was getting $4,000 a month rent for their house. And that's when I've got to stop and be like, and show them this video and be like, this is the reason why you had a bad tenant. This is the reason you had your property priced too high. Now do your search like this, like a tenant, and you'll get a much better idea of where to price your property aggressively. So I think we covered everything there. Let me take a look here. So again, the highlight of this video is that you're not looking to get the highest price for your property. You're looking to get the highest quality tenant for your property. That is the key to being a successful real estate investor is tenants, making sure you have the right tenant in it that takes care of your property, that pays rent on time, and that is the key to making sure that you have a painless real estate investing experience. So hopefully that helps. For those that I sent this video to go over before we meet up, I thank you for taking the time to look at this. And if you have any questions or criticisms of the video, certainly let me know. So